One of the many strengths of insects is their ability to adapt to diverse environments. Whether it's dry deserts, wet rainforests, or cold tundras, insects find a niche in their environment and continue to spread their offspring. But what if environments that these insects live in begin to change? What if the desert has a road built through it? Rainforest experiences deforestation, or the ice in the tundra begins to melt. Climate change and industrialization will have impacts on the environments insects live in and require them to adapt to survive. A prime example of an insect adapting to air pollution and industrialization is the peppered moth, otherwise known as the Viston chularia.
The pepper moth is a temperate species of night-flying moth, mostly found in the northern hemispheres of Asia, North America, and Europe. They live among vegetated habitats such as woodlands, scrublands, and other wide range of trees. These moths undergo complete metamorphosis, just like butterflies, and live through four stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. You may be more familiar with the terms caterpillars and chrysalis.
During the night, the moths search for mates, with the males flying around and the females releasing pheromones to draw males to their location. During the day, the moths rest on trees and utilize their camouflage, hiding themselves from predators. The peppered black spots on the wings of the moth is how it stays safe during the day, hiding among lichen-covered trees to blend in with the environment. Even as caterpillars, the peppered moths are skilled at camouflage. They mimic the form and color of the twig they're on, and are able to slowly change their color to match the twig they're on. For a long time, things were consistent for the peppered moth, but the Industrial Revolution quickly changed the moth's environment.
Back in history to Great Britain in the early 19th century, just when the Industrial Revolution was kicking off. To power all these new industrial machines, British manufacturers turned to a familiar resource: coal. The burning of the massive amounts of coal created lots of air pollution and soot around the London area. With the wind blowing these pollutions into nearby forests, the soot reached the lichen covered trees the peppered moths rested on, killing off the lichen and removing the camouflage for the moths. Without a way to hide, could the moths could be easily picked off by birds and bats. So how did the moths survive this change?
Even before the Industrial Revolution, bird moths sometimes had color mutations, causing their wings to be dominated by black coloration. For soot pollution, these black moths struggled to use their camouflage on lichen covered trees and were often eaten by predators before they could reproduce. But with soot pollution, black peppered moths were provided environments to blend in with but stay safe during the day. These black moths became the dominant variant during the 1800s. Scientists coined a term for this adaptation: industrial melanism. Due to the changing circumstances of their environment, black peppered moths had the scales of natural selection tipped in their favor.
For a long time, scientists have struggled to understand exactly how the mouse experienced the change in wing color. Recent research has discovered that the black mouse experience DNA change in their cortex, a part of their genetics that controls pigmentation and colorations. Scientists found large chunks of DNA they call jumping genes, almost a virus-like piece of DNA that duplicated themselves throughout the cortex genes. When scientists compared the DNA of the black and spotted cattlemouse, almost all of the black mouse had the jump genes, while none of the spotted had the jumping genes.
Despite this interesting genetic adaptation, changes in industry and reductions of air pollution reduce the amount of soot in the air and remove the camouflage advantages of the black peppered moth. Over time, the lichen has returned to trees and tilted the scales of natural selection back to the spotted peppered moths. Nowadays, the spotted variant of the moth has once again become dominant, with some black variants seen around.
Still, changes in industrialization and climate change will impact other insects and animals around the world. Scientists have observed some other animals that have experienced industrial minimalism, like sea snakes that have darker skins when living near industrial areas, and two-spot ladybugs that have reversed their color scheme, becoming dominantly black in response to climate change. The story of the peppered moth is a clear example of the natural selection at work and provides us a lesson of how the insects around us may adapt to the changes we've imposed on their environments. The better we understand our insect friends, the better we can help them in this ever changing world.